Same thing we will perform based on class also. So class means it will be dot. So let me refresh it. So based on class also. And one more way is based on tags. So what is a tag here? P tag. So based on tag. Okay. So what is the difference here? If you go for based on tag, what are the advantages and what are disadvantages?
No, yes, sir.
Think about it in general. Based on tag means it is applicable for all of those elements. So either
Okay.
so it is applicable for all p tag elements for the entire page, whatever we are loading on. Okay, so here you can see it is applicable for all. This is the advantage. One p tag will apply for all p's. The disadvantage is if you have multiple functionality. For example, here you are displaying something, here you are writing something, here you have a functionality to code something, so it will be breaking for all. So this is the biggest disadvantage. In order to differentiate that, we have a concept of attributes. For this only we will be going for classes and IDs. Okay, so let's go further now.
Okay.
So click, you have seen the same case will be followed if you don't go for double click. So the difference between the click and double click is you have to give a twice click. Let me check the syntax whether I am giving correctly or not. Double click in jQuery. So DBL click it is. So what we are writing is DB click. DBL click. So once, twice. So twice if you click, then only it will work. Otherwise, it will not work. So does it make sense, guys?
Yes, sure.
So in the same way, val. So one example we have seen on val also. Input type equal to text is there, and ID equal to data. How to access the values here? Yeah. So in this way, we will be accessing the value. Plus present. So here I'm going to add 1, and you can see value of 1. When I'm loading my page, I want this text field to hold some default value. So how to get that?
Yes.
So did you get my point? So when I am refreshing my page, by default some value should be there. So that you can do by using dollar hash data.val of some value you write over here. If you write in the val is used for two purposes. One is for setting the value and another is for getting the value. You can see whenever I load my page, some value will be available. So I can remove this value and give my value. Okay. In the same way, we have a function so called hide. What is the use of hide?
It will hide their wind.
Correct. It will hide that specific component. So let me take something here like button id equal to 1 and that button is going to hide some data. What it is going to hide? It is going to hide some specific data here. Hmm, welcome to jQuery. So this is a div here. Let me make this div with some CSS. Let me add to that one. How to add that? We need to add a style sheet for this hash 1. Solid black I'm giving, width I'm giving as 300 pixel, height is also 300 pixel. Now dot height we'll see. So what is this height? This much big is coming height. So let me give the id for div as 1 because we need to apply it on this, but we and id for button as 2. Button got bigger there earlier case. So when I click on this one, that should get hidden. Color as So when I click this one, this should get hidden. So how to do that? Hide is a function here. Okay. So what we have here, dollar hash. On the click of button, what should get hidden? Div should get hidden. So directly you can write div also if you want, because you have a single div. And you can write a button also here because you have only one button. But when you have two buttons, then you should go for ID or class. So it got hidden here. So even you can give a small time range also here. Okay. So if you specify the time range, it will hide very slowly. If it is here, you have to specify the time range. So the same way we have a function so-called show. So let me add one more button where id equal to 3 and name is show. So here again button. So when I am clicking on show also, it is hiding. Why? You have applied on tag. So directly tag it is accepting and hiding it. So let me replace that one with ID now. The first button is hide ID is 2. So when you click on that, you are hiding it. And in the same way, when you click on show, it should display back. So dot click function and dollar hash def dot show. So when you click on which button? Show button. Show button is having id as 3. So hide is there, show is there. Hide is there, show is there. So show also you can give some time limit here. Hide, show. Okay. Does it make sense, guys?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So in the same way, we have something so-called mouse enter, mouse down, mouse over. Let me take one, and I will quickly move on because I have to explain you something about the. So we have some services here. This that I have discussed with you earlier, right? You people said we need a backend service for that. So these are the services which we need to integrate. So whenever you join as a UI developer, you will be getting the JSONs from the client. That is nothing but the API team. People who code for backend are known as API team, and the people who code for the front end are known as UI team, and people who designs HTMLs and all are known as UX team. So UX designer, UI developers, and API developers. So we will be getting the services like this. We have to append it and we have to display it. So these are the services. Some dummy services are available online. We will take some services and we will start working on that. How to integrate a code, and I will explain you some real-time scenarios also. Okay, but before that, guys, you have to practice this basics. I have given some assignment to you. Please complete that one and send me. So today I will just wrap up these small things, and in this I will just cover the most important one. If you go for any blog, any tutorial, you will come to know what is mouse up, what is mouse down. All these are simple things. You have to practice it, then only we can go for the complicated things. We have so many things to cover. Okay, let me get back to the concept now. So what is the meaning of mouse enter? Let me take one quick example on mouse enter. Mm, so when we, you can code anywhere, you can start at the top, you can write it at the end, it doesn't matter. Mouse enter function. Okay, so whenever you enter the mouse in that specific area, you're getting an alert. Outside that there is no alert. So this is known as mouse enter. So in the same way you have so many things like mouse down, mouse up, hover. Let's take CSS and apply some CSS on that. So how do we apply CSS in JavaScript?
Dot C.
What CSS do we have in JavaScript?
Like inner HTML dot document dot get element by ID, and we can change the by ID we can change the CSS of the HTML, right?
Yeah, that is document.get element by ID. That is used. That is perfect. But how do we apply CSS? Dot style we have, right?
Yeah.
So by using that one, we will be applying, that is document.get element by ID dot style we will be using over there, and we have applied. So here it's pretty simple. Dot CSS you have to use. That's it. This has been designed in such a way that remembering the syntax and all is very simple. So dot CSS. For example, if you want to change the color. What is the background color here? Background color is light blue, light gray I'm giving. So this will be followed with again dollar. So which CSS you want to change? You want to change the div CSS. So whenever you enter here, it should change that one. Let me check something gone wrong here. So mouse enter dot CSS, background color is light gray. Let me check the syntax of this one. Dot CSS. Okay, this is a syntax here. So background color comma. So sorry, like this it is. We have to follow the syntax. Okay, when you are entering inside, the CSS is getting changed, and when we enter out, then also we want the CSS to get changed. For that also we need to write some code. Mouse enter is there, and mouse down, mouse enter, mouse exit is also there, might be. Let me check that. So we have something so called mouse out. So mouse out, go back over here, write some code for mouse out. Mouse out function, and again dot CSS, background, oops, background color, I'm rolling back to the default one, that is light blue. So for which this is again for diff, and this is also for diff. We come back over here. So when you enter, when you exit, when you enter, when you exit. Let me give some bright color here, blue. When you enter, when you exit. Okay. So this looks like very simple things, but these are the basic things which we have to remember, because next level, what I'm going to explain you is, let me open some website. So when I am placing my cursor on this image, what is happening? It is zooming at the next side. The zooming I am going to explain you. So this relates to mouse enter and mouse exit. Tomorrow most probably I will cover this one. This one I will cover, and I will also cover something so called Ajax calls. So let's take slide up and slide down. I'm getting a sound from my laptop. No problem. It will go within few minutes. Actually, yeah. You're also getting a sound over there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So let's take one example on slide up. Slide up. jQuery is, please ignore that sound. It will be there for few minutes only. Uh, Slide up in jQuery. So jQuery is having very good API also. Apart from many more things, it is having its own API. The documentation which the jQuery comes up is awesome. So if you want to work on forms, you can work. Just click over here. It will give all the functions which are available in that. And for example, I want to see .val, so it will take you over there, and it will give some examples also on that, so that you can try it down. So you can see in the same way, if you want to learn anything about CSS, so .css we have seen. So add class, .css has class, all these things are there. So you should learn how to use this API. Okay, it's, we have seen only .css. So in the same way, let me open first .css. In .css, we have learned the syntax, like how to add CSS over here. Here you can see .css it has given. So what is this program? It is to define RGB, which CSS is of which, when I'm clicking on any component, it is defining a color over here. So you should go through this one, how to use this API. If you want to be very strong in jQuery, then I suggest you to go for this concepts. If you go for effects, slide down, we are studying about slide up. Just click over there. You will be getting some explanation, how much duration you want. All these things are all these methods available for that. And then when good example they have given here below. So let me take the example on slide up. So what we want is, when we are clicking on button, the height I'm changing with the name slide up. When I'm clicking on button, the div should get slided up. I have given here, when I'm clicking on button, what is the name of button here? The name of button, ID of button is 2. Same thing for show. I remove the code for show. I'm just adding it. So let me go back here. So here you can see that 2 and 2. So it is hiding and it is showing also. So I'm changing the second one here. It should be 3, so that it will only slide up. There is a difference between slide up and hide. If you remember, hide will just, this is hide. Okay. These are nothing but slide up. The same thing follows for the slide down also. Again, I need to check the syntax for that. Slide, DOWN, down. So this is not going. So you can validate your code by clicking on that particular one. Here you will find some example. So let me take this example. Slide down is something like show. So let me make it. One is nothing but hide and one is nothing but show. Let me change it over here to hide. Hmm. So what I did, let me explain you. Again, so here I'm going to change with name THRE3. Rename this to slide down. So first slide down, then slide up. Yeah, let me explain you. So by default, it should be hidden. Anything if you want to be acceptable at the time of loading a page, then that should not be written inside any function. So you can see there are two functions here. One is click, another one is also click. But one click is for slide up and another click is for slide down. So by default, we have hidden this. The div is hidden. So if you refresh this, so you won't find div. And it doesn't make sense of clicking slide up. If something is visible, then only we can go for slide up. So first click on slide down and then click on slide up. Does it make sense, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. So another point is toggle. What is the meaning of toggle? Let me show you the output first, then we'll talk about the toggle. So click div dot slide slide toggle toggle. What is the syntax? Slide slide toggle toggle. We applied toggle on 2. Toggle means in spite of using two buttons, you will use one button and you will do both the operation, two-side operation it will be. So let me remove second button from here. Code also we don't need for, and let me rename it to toggle. So here you can see one button is doing both the operation, sliding up and sliding down. So if you want to know what is this toggle, display or hide the matched elements within a sliding motion. So this is what something so called toggle. So you have to spend your time, guys. If you want to be strong in a subject, means you have to spend some time on these APIs. Fading is there, fade in, fade out. What is the meaning of fade in?
Wait, bro.
Fading deals with this thing, CSS. Fading means providing a transparency. For example, here you have something background image, also you want it to be visible. Then you have to go for fading. So fade in, fade out. This we have to take. I will take it, and let me take some more concepts. Some important things I will. Uh, HTML dot add class, and this is also very important. For example, I have one ID here. I have one more class over here. Dot two, and here the border is solid red, and let me change the width and height. It's 400 and 500, and background color I'm going to make it yellow. Where is it? So what I'm going to do here in this case is, on the click of button, I'm going to add some class to the specific component. So what, on the click of which component I want to add, I want to add CSS for diff. So which class I want to add, class name is 2. Let me check syntax. So it comes under the CSS. So add class and class name. Here you will find one example also. Dot selected. So we are going to add a class so called selected. Okay, so here change it to 1. So by default this class is nothing but 1 here. Div dot add class we have given. So on the click of button you can change the class of the specific component. This is for add class. So today I'm going to give assignment to refer this API. Wherever you have doubts, please note it down and come back to me, so that there are very small things over here. Please cover the basic things. I will take the complicated things in my bucket. For example, if you want to increase the width, dot width you have to specify, replace with. If you want to empty something, dot empty. And dot html is also there here, which is very important, that I will cover now. Dot text and dot html, it will see. So here in this API dot html, if you search it, it will give all HTML related. Yeah, here you will have dot html. So if you want to see the example, you can see the example. Click to change the HTML. So let me go for that. So if you're not happy with the example which they have given over here, use same thing and Google it. Number of blogs and tutorials are there which will help you. .html in jQuery. You can see there are so many documentations you have. So what is the use of this .html? We come back over here. So what this .html do is, it will replace the component of the div with the text which you have typed. So what was there earlier? Welcome to jQuery was there. For which? For div. Div is holding this component. Now what you did, .html, if you have written, and you have replaced this entire component with two. Okay. Any questions up to here?
Uh, Sir, what are